Hi guys, this is Fritzy, and today I have for you an old favorite, which is the Eternity card, but mine today is a circle and not a square. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I do, and please excuse me if I fumble today because I'm dead tired. I have had really little sleep. So what you need is, or what makes life a lot easier, is a paper trimmer with a scoring option, and you definitely need a triangular ruler. For paper, I used really heavy cardstock and cut 2 circles for card bases. And I do actually have dice, so if not, just use a saucer or a plate or whatever, circular, trace it, cut it out, and you're going to be fine. You can make this any size you want. You just have to be able to somehow fit it into your trimmer or anything that helps you score at an angle. So what you need to do with your card bases is cut them down the middle, the exact middle. To do that, you start out by scoring them at 1/4 of their diameter. How I do that is I measure my diameter, which actually turns out, turns out to be 4 7/8 inches in this case. And then I go and calculate 1/2 and 1/4. Which is where I put my triangular ruler and put in my circle to score it. The first score is totally willy-nilly because you have no angles to pay attention to. So just do it wherever you want to have it at 1/4 of your diameter. You score that down and then you go ahead and fold down the score, which will give you a baseline, from which baseline you actually go ahead and define all the straight angles. Then I move my triangular ruler to 1/2 the diameter, which in my case is 2 7/8. Yeah, 2 7/8 inches about. That's where you put your triangular, and then you go ahead and put your baseline against your ruler to get a parallel line that is 1/2 a diameter away from your 1/4 diameter, which makes it 3/4 diameter, which positions it where you need it. Then you go ahead and butt up your baseline with the ruler in your trimmer, so you'll be able to have a 90-degree cut, or a cut that is in a 90-degree angle, in a correct 90-degree angle to your score lines. Then you go ahead and, well, I do have a sample card where I tried out what works and what doesn't. So there I marked my different positions, meaning that as you work through the card, you see different panels, and you want to mark those panels and decorate them possibly, or stamp them or emboss them before you actually assemble the card. I did it after once, and with the heat embossing, really, I got so much warp, I decided not to do that anymore. I'd rather take the time to mark my panels and decorate them, stamp them, emboss them before assembly. So if something goes wrong, you can still cut a new panel, honestly. I mean, who hasn't done that? So yeah, that's what I usually do. So you mark them 1 through 4. Then I go ahead and stick them together again with some washi, just to be able to position them correctly, which is essential because you really want to be a neat freak concerning your angles and score lines, because if you don't match them up correctly, your card will not work. It really lives off of your working very, very correctly. I might trim lines to actually help me position my circle, and I mark my middle on the top, as you can see. Put the cut on the horizontal line so it's even, and then I go in and mark my upper middle just so I know where to position my cut line with the upper panel. So I go ahead, position my cut on a horizontal line again, put my mark onto one of the vertical lines so I have a guidance as to where or as to how to position my upper circle, my top circle. Then I go ahead and position those parts according to my marks, and that's how I get the correct 90-degree angle, the correct movability for my card. It helps a lot if you have like a visible line, vertical line on the top and on the bottom. Gosh, I hope this all makes sense. I'm so tired. I'm like barely capable of translating this on the go as I do, but I really want to get this out, so I'm not scripting this. So please forgive my muddling. What you do now is fold down your flaps to get an idea where you're gonna glue, which is between those score lines or outside of those score lines. The ones on the base and the one on the top, which is like those tiny triangles, are basically 4 of those tiny triangles are what holds this card together. And you really want to know where your glue spots are so you don't decorate over them, which would make the card less movable. And it would be a pity if you put some design there and it would just, like be lost in the assembly. So now I marked all my glue, my glue areas, and I do have numbered all my panels so I know what goes where. And according to this, I can assemble and decorate my card panels front and back, which I will do like in a warp speed thingy, so you can get an idea, but whatever. Just enjoy the music. So now I'm done decorating my card and I go back into assembly, which right now is pretty easy because I predetermined all my settings. I did my decoration. On my front panel, I only stuck down temporarily so I can make sure everything moves well once the card is assembled. And in this case, I use my grid paper to align my bottom circle. I still have my top mark, thank God. So I align my middle cut to the big horizontal line and my top mark to the big or the fat vertical one, I put glue onto my marked glue areas. And then the only thing you really have to pay attention to is that you don't stick your top panel down upside down. Which, let's face it, has happened to, I guess, pretty much all of us at some point in time. But with a circular card, it's just something that you just get in the swing of things and it happens. So luckily, if that should happen, I only tacked my greeting down temporarily, so I could, if I had to, still switch it up, but I don't. So I did pay attention this time. Take a guess how I know. Just rub it on so it really gets a good grip, and then start moving the card through. It helps tremendously to take off your washi tape, I can tell you this much. At this point, I was just wondering why my card wouldn't open, and then I went like, duh. And I'm like, and I did not pre-score. I pre-scored, but I didn't burnish my scores because I thought I might be stamping over them. So it was all pretty stuffy. And, like, take off the washi, just a tip. And as you can see, it all works splendidly, but I still have panels I want to decorate. So I go back in, even with the card assembled, into Stampin', and I still have 2 deco panels left that I wanted to put somewhere but didn't know where. So I actually needed to assemble the card to know what else I wanted to do with it. So I go back into Warp Speed and do some more Stampin', as you can see, and see you in a minute. So I am done stamping and decorating, and I ended up putting a lilac panel, a purple posy panel on the back. I absolutely love how this card turned out. I hope you enjoy making yours. And I'm really sorry for the rough and tumble dubbing today, but I knew I wouldn't be getting it out if I procrastinated for, some sleep. But I hope it's still understandable and comprehensive. If not, just email me and I'll get you written instructions. If you haven't subscribed, I'd be really happy to have you, and enjoy making the card. I hope to see you in my next video, or just go hop back and check out what's there. See you later.